Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff. We just keep it a buck. And today we're gonna be talking about a legend right here. If you're a true underground head, you know what this mean, baby.
Get them up. If you a true underground head, you know what this mean right here, baby. This ain't motherfucking LL Cool J.
It's not
For
motherfucking
sure.
LL Cool J. Get it up. It don't mean lazy motherfucker either. Get it up.
Get it up. You know what this mean? It don't mean lazy motherfucker either. Get it up.
It don't mean losing.
What it means one thing.
It don't mean nothing. But one thing. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Rest in peace.
Big L. Big L. Big
Big
L.
L.
Big L. Rest in peace. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Big L. We're gonna be talking about the legacy of Big L. We also are gonna talk about the album that just recently came out. We'll discuss that. But a lot of it's just gonna be about the legacy of Big L. All right, I'm got the crew with me in the building. Got Stan in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How's it going this morning?
It's going, brother.
Going good, good. Ready to go. Ready to do this.
All right, and we got Kurt in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yo, anytime we talk about them old school dudes, I get really excited. So I'm definitely pumped up for this. Got my coffee in the morning. I'm ready, man.
All right, let's go. We'll just let it go where it goes. I'm gonna start with you, Stan. When you think about Big L, like what comes to mind?
Underground legacy superstar in the making that got cut short. Um, when I first heard of Big L was probably around was past the time he had passed, around 98, 99. And the big picture came. When did the big picture come out? 99 or 98?
2000, right?
2000, yeah.
2000.
Mhm.
Yeah, Love of Great. Really good year for hip hop that period.
Yep.
And I just remember being blown away by his flow, his punchlines, his cadence. He was going to be. I don't know. Look, I don't. I think about like what would have happened if none of that shit happened. He never got killed and none of that stuff. He had signed with Rockefeller. If that was supposedly what was going to happen, and he was being courted by Jay and Rockefeller. And I wonder what would have happened if that. What his career would have been. It's hard to say now with how different hip hop is now compared to what it was in '98. But my feeling is if he had got to Rockefeller, if he had got on with Jay, got with Jay, eventually got with Just Blaze, eventually got with Kanye, young Kanye, before
Oh,
he went crazy.
oh,
Um, and the producers that Jay had access to at that time and what The Rock was putting out during that time, I feel like he would have been. I don't know if he would be in the same grouping now as the Jays and the Nas's and Pac and Biggie and all. I don't know if he would be in that stratosphere of dudes, but he would be somewhere close to that. He would definitely be in the same way above the guys that we look like Jadakiss and Fat Joe and some of those guys that below the Jays and the Nas that still have a lot of they still have a lot of respect in the hip hop community today.
right.
Like they consider the OGs, the OGs that we look at now, the Raekwons, the Jada Kisses, the Fat Joes, the Snoop, and all those guys now that have so much respect within our community. Dude was nice. He was really the first of a lot of these guys. The punchline rappers that was that was L. And I don't know. It just sucks. It sucks that he never even got a chance to really get to that level or even have it, get to that point. But he's definitely one of the biggest what ifs in hip hop history, if we think about it from that era.
Right.
One of the biggest what ifs. What the fuck would have happened if he got on the Rock? What would happen if he didn't? Well, maybe he don't go to the Rock. Maybe he goes to Def Jam, or maybe he does, goes here, signs with this dude, collabs with this guy. He never got a collab with none of these dudes. So it's definitely a big what if, and it sucks because dude was super talented and very innovative at a time, and created a lot of styles these niggas use now. The niggas came behind him
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
His flow is that rapid fire flow that he had, and his voice is straight up Harlem. He was a New York dude. It was he would have been the guy now. I think that like how people look, like I said, how people look at Jadakiss, how people look at the Locks, how people look at Cam, how people look at a lot of these dudes. He would probably be above those guys. And he was as good as Jay at that time. I mean, again, the 7-minute freestyle that I remember that they remixed for the new album, he went toe to toe with Jay. And Jay was
He got
just
Jay,
coming
yo.
up.
Yeah, I don't know
He
if it was,
got
I don't
Jay.
know if
Ain't
it was
no
toe to toe, man. He
It
left Jay in the
was
He
dust,
stepped
bro.
on Jay,
it
yo.
was
He stepped on
I
Jay.
wouldn't say stepped all on him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they was, what I'm saying, like that.
It was good. It was
They was
good.
they
It
was
was,
they was
it was
nose to
good.
nose on it. And
Nah, they weren't the
the nigga
same.
was nice. That's all I can say is the nigga was really nice and should have gotten that chance to get on some really top notch production. He came up around some of those dudes. And I just wish he had got that chance to get on the Rock or get on some major label, get with some top producers that were coming over that time and really do some shit. But yeah, I respect him. I don't know how to rank him because again, he's like hard to rank him because he only had really 2 major label albums. I know he's had a couple other projects come out, but I'm interested to hear what y'all think about we rank him all time. Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is a good question. Before I come to you, Kurt, we were talking about the Rockefeller thing. When I do these videos, I like to go down a rabbit hole and learn as much as I can. That Rockefeller thing was pretty much a done deal. Dame Dash said they
Mm.
actually had a party. They were actually having a party, and they were planning on announcing the signing at the party. And that story was also said by McGruff. Remember Hurt McGruff? He used to be on some of the Big L records. He said the same thing. There was a party that was going to be planned. I think it was like a week or two after the day he got killed. So it was pretty much about to be announced. So that was absolutely going to happen. So yeah, it's definitely one of the big what ifs. But Kurt, I'm gonna come to you.
What else can you say? Like Stan basically said it all, but I would give it to you from a different lens. When Big L came in the game, like nobody was using that particular style. Nobody was like a lot of Harlem dudes, a lot of New York dudes. Like New York itself back then, it was like 1,000 different styles. It was like a kung fu flick. Like Wu-Tang was doing what they was doing, and nobody sounded like Wu-Tang at that time. But then, LL Cool J was doing what he was doing, and then, Rakim, Godfather, the whole industry of rappers, you know what I'm saying? And then they got Nas out of nowhere, and then Big Bang. So it was like so many styles. It was so many different flavors. It was so many different like pitches and people using their imagination in New York. And then I heard if rap was a sport, I'd be MVP, most valuable poet on the MIC, right? And he had some bars and he had some breakdowns and he had some cadences in that particular song that wasn't being used. Like nobody was doing this. Now, like it's like New York, it's like Nas and Queensbridge, right? We found out like later on, like, oh, okay, they all talk that done language, but Nas was the first person that we heard actually speaking that Queensbridge lingo. You know, and it's like that with Big L. He was the first one we heard speaking that true Harlem lingo. Now, years later, we got Mace, we got Cam, we got Jewels, we got Jimmy, and all of them. But he, in the middle, what I'm saying is, in the middle of Pop, Big Pun, we talking like guys like LL, Wu Tang, all of that. In the mix of all of that, he gave us something that wasn't being used. He gave us something brand new. He gave us something different. In the middle of all of that going on. And see, it was such, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he just came out at the wrong era. He came out at the wrong time. Like, he, like, if you listen to that, if you listen to what was going on at that time, he was as potent. He was as potent as any of them. As any of them. Like, you could play Ready to Die and then play the Danger Zone right after it, the first one. 40 and for Linux is the Danger Zone. Like, and Big L is using cadences and using styles and using flows that Big wasn't even using. Now, obviously, the production is better for Big. Big is like Ready to Die has more substance. It's more of a well-rounded, versatile album. Big did more things like storytell, and then Big would also speak metaphorically. Then he'd give you some real shit. Then he'd give you some street shit. He was more of a well-rounded artist. But I'm just speaking from a lyrical content, creativity breakdown. Like, Big L was doing it in a way that nobody else was doing it. It was unmatched. But like I said, like, Snoop was out. You know, we talk about Prime, Snoop, and Dre, bro. You understand? Like, there was no way, it was too many listeners to filter to Big L. But for those who had heard Big L, like, you know, you'll go to a barbershop and somebody say Big the best rapper, somebody say Nas the best rapper, but then somebody would say, y'all heard Big L? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a mention at that time when I was a younger, but then he disappeared for years. He disappeared for years. Nobody, like, did some underground stuff, and then he passed away after. Then he dropped it, like you said, the last one, Big Picture. But lyrically, like, what Big L did, like, it sparked. It's a lot of people who, like, especially these new generation, the flows have evolved to where as though they have these styles, right? But a lot of it, if you go to the root of it, it's a lot of what's going on in the game. If you go to the root of it, especially if you listen to Eminem, you will hear Big L. If you listen to Kendrick Lamar, you will hear Big L. A lot of those breakdowns, and you will definitely hear Big L. And if you go before Big L, if you listen to rap before Big L, you don't hear that. You don't hear that. Like, I definitely one of the most underrated. Not gonna get his flowers. Like, I listen to Conway a lot and Benny the Butcher. I listen to them. Bro, Benny the Butcher is literally Big L. Like, the way he breaks shit down, you could play Big L and you would think that Benny stole Big L whole rap book. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way he break it down, his cadences and all that. So, as far as where I rank Big L, I think Stan got it right. Um, when you get past the Nas's, the Andres, 3000s, you get past the Bigs and the J's, but right before you get to like Jadakiss and Big Pun, right before you get to them, it's like a little window. It's like a little gap. And Big L, I think that's where he belongs. He didn't do we don't have enough to mention him with Big and Pop and all of that. But at the same time, from what you heard, bro, like, and you know, Kiss my favorite rapper. I think you put him, guys like another guy I would put in that small window would be AZ. I think AZ would be in that small window also. But not quite elite, but he's better than second tier. He's better than that second tier of rappers. I think Stan got that one right. But I will disagree with you on this, Stan. He smoked Jay on that 7 minute freestyle, bro. I'm sorry. You talk about his nose to nose. No, it is not, bro. That shit is not nose to nose, bro. He renegaded Jay, in my opinion. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But I just I would like for the new school, like whoever the young kids, I would like for them to listen to this guy because before Big L came, there's nobody using that flow. There's nobody using his cadences and a lot of his breakdowns. After Big L, you hear it a lot, which means he is the root of it. Like I know I love J. Cole. I love a lot of these new rappers, but when you listen to them, they might admire Nas, they might admire Jay, but on the low ski they sound like Big L. So just want to give him his flowers, and you got it right though, Stan. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that he has to be one of the biggest what ifs ever, just because he passed so young, so he didn't get that opportunity to grow into the artist that we talk about when we talk about Big and we talk about Pac. He didn't get a chance to really get there. I mean, imagine if we never got Life After Death by Big, because that was Big as a polished product. Ready to Die,
Right.
he was as well, but Ready to Die, it's a lot more raw. You listen to Ready to Die and listen to Life After Death, Ready to Die is raw, and then Life After Death, he's more of a polished product. And the sad thing is, man, is that if you listen to Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, which is Big L's first album, and then you listen to the Big Picture technically wasn't a full album. It was a compilation because he passed. They didn't have enough to make a full album. But you listen to Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous and go to the Big Picture, there's a difference. You can see the polishing happen. You know what I'm saying? You can actually hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the song structure. Because I mean, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous was just a raw gutter hip hop album. The Big Picture, you started to see storytelling. The song "The Heist," where he tells that story on the heist. What's the casualties of a dice game? You're seeing the storytelling coming together. You're seeing the more charismatic flow coming together with the Harlem World keep holding it down. A Big L, that joint, that you could hear the charismatic flow coming. Like he was starting to become a polished product when he passed. So that's what makes it so unfortunate. I want to talk about influence, because I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Like, I didn't know Big L until he passed. Unfortunately, I didn't actually ever hear of him until after he passed. And I remember when the Big Picture came out, that album made a lot of impact. Like, I remember vividly in high school where like that album was getting bumped, and like it was like a badge of honor if you was up on it. I remember being in class one time and somebody in the class was like rapping. I forget what bars he was rapping. He was rapping something off of The Heist, and he was rapping it. And then I finished the line behind him. He kind of looked at me like, "Oh, you up on that?" Like it was like a badge of honor, like you up on what Big L was doing. And I was really at that time starting to pick up the pen and do my own little rapping. I can tell you straight up, yo, I talked about AZ and how influential he was when I first started rapping. Big L was right next to him, like highly influential to the point where I'll be honest with you, man. Like there was many times where I hate to say I was biting, but I was taking some stuff that Big L did and reworked it. Just that's how influential he was on me when I started rapping. I'm sure, Kurt, I'm sure you remember when I, dropped a diss record on the entire classroom. And I remember I had a line where I was dissing Brandon Knox. And B Knox, if you watching, man, salute to you, brother. But I remember he was a big Kobe fan. And I said, you want to be like Kobe, but Kobe want to be like Reg, right? Because Kobe started rapping or whatever. So that was the thing of it. But that bar was bitten. Like Big L said on Let 'Em Have It L, everybody want to be like Mike, but Mike want to be like L. And I remember I said that bar in the same cadence that Big L said it from that song, man. So yeah, and I remember after I heard the Big Picture, man, I was like hooked. I'm like, yo, I gotta hear more of this guy. Like, and I remember trying to find his first album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, but couldn't find it. I used to go to Stan. I'm not sure Stan remembers this. Every time we would
Oh
go
yeah,
hang
fuck
out,
yeah, I remember that.
yeah, every time we would go hang out at the mall, I would go to every single record store in there just to see if they had Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous. Nobody would ever have it. You know, I would go right there, look at the B section. Okay, all they got is the Big Picture. Damn, where can I find this album? And again, back then there wasn't no YouTube. You got to find it.
You gotta find it.
I mean,
Yeah, you gotta find that shit.
yeah, Napster was just bubbling, but at the time I didn't quite know how to get it going. So I was trying to find the album, and then the one day where I found that album, bro, I've been putting that in my CD player. That first song come on, that xylophone,
Yeah.
Better Fleet Hops, get your head flown 3 blocks, L Keys, rappers' hearts pumping like Reeboks. It's like, oh my gosh, man. And yeah, man, I remember that third verse on that song, put it on when I do say, and it's a fact I keep a gat in the arm reach. I charm freaks and bomb geeks from here to Palm Beach. I'm putting rappers in the wheelchair. Big L is the villain, you still figures. I be hanging at Harlem, my shit is for real here. If you battle L, you pick the wrong head. I smash mics like cornbread. You can't kill me, I was born dead. And I'm known to pull steel trigs and kill pigs. Everyone with ill kids and real niggas who peel wigs. Like, yo, hooked. From that moment, I was like, oh, I'm all in, man. That album.
You say I'm so ahead of my time. My grandparents haven't met
yet.
Like, what are we talking about here, yo? I'm so ahead of my time. My grandparents haven't met yet. Like,
you know how many people have bit that line too? How many people have bit that line? Jay-Z bit that line.
What do you think? And bitches ask me why I'm so fly. Bitch asked me for a ring. I put one around her whole eye. 30 Jesus with the peep stole. So I knocked on the door and shot his granny through the peephole.
Yeah.
Yo, L was just like, I remember like the first time I heard it, right? Because like on MVP, he was like, I'll never forget this. He was like, and my partner's a thick. I was watching the box. Y'all remember the video box, the music box, or the black cable box? Y'all remember that shit? God damn. And he was like, and my pockets are thick. I need surgery to get chicks to remove from my chair. My mother was like, she was talking to my uncle. She was like, turn this off. You know, back then, like black women didn't like, they didn't play that disrespect shit back then like that. Like, she was like, turn this off. The way he, no, I don't like him. The way he just said that, and I remember like my uncle used to have like a you know, I remember niggas used to have like the CD decks. It'd be a bunch of tapes and a bunch of CDs in a case on somebody's room next to these speakers. My uncle had a bunch of that, and that's how I got introduced to Big L first joint.
Okay.
Like I used to go to my uncle joint, grab tapes, grab CDs or whatever, and I didn't. But the fact that it made my mother mad, it made me want to listen to him. Like, damn, this dude Big L, like he must really be slick. Like my mother just like, you know, anything your mother don't like as a young dude, you know, you want to try to experience it. And I would check and I would check and I would check. And he never had a Big L album. He had Run DMC tapes, MC Ren. And when he finally had it, he finally got it on a CD. I used the joint, or might have been tape back then. I don't know. But when he finally got it, I remember being happy that he got it. And I listened to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I got introduced to him. My mother was like, turn the TV on because he said that particular line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It just highly influential. Like you said, you can definitely hear Big L in a lot of artists. I mean, like I don't want to go to the new album yet, but like on the new album, you saw he had the song, and who was on the song? It was a song. It had the intro was the person talking about how influenced he was by Big L. Mac Miller. It was a Mac Miller joint. It was a joint with Mac Miller.
Oh my goodness.
And you saw Mac Miller in his own words saying how influential Big L was to him, and then they, put the song together. So, yeah, man, a lot of influence.
He had a tattoo on his body of lyrics of a Big L song. It's actually on his arm. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's dedicated to Big L. It's a tattoo on his arm. He was showing like an interview. I had seen it because
Says Street Struck. That's a Big L song. You know, Big L's someone who like really got me into rapping.
after I heard Mac Miller voice, like why the because I don't like to see. I try to be like old school. Like I don't like to see like the credits. Like if I put an album on, I put my phone down so I can't even see the name of the songs, and I like to be surprised when I listen to it. So when Mac Miller came on, I was like, damn, this sound like Mac Miller. And then it just hit me like, hold up, this is Mac Miller. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of rappers
Mm-hmm.
that were influenced by you speak to his influence. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of rappers that really was influenced by Big L, but you don't know. Like you might not know that because a lot of it's like the young kids that like I always use the example, the young kids that shoot the fadeaway to the trash can and they say Kobe. But we know Kobe got it from Jordan. You see what I'm saying? But they didn't watch Jordan. We watched Jordan. We shooting a paper ball in the trash can. We're gonna say Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they don't know that turnaround jumper comes from Jordan. They don't know that because they only know Kobe. So these kids are saying J. Cole. These kids are saying, Kendrick Lamar, but they don't know Big L. I really wish, especially got shout out to Nas for what he's doing with the old school, keeping
Absolutely,
old school,
absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Nas is
But
MVP this year, man. What he's doing for hip hop is important because nobody's
important.
doing this shit. Nobody's doing this.
Nobody's
You know what I'm
doing it.
saying? They're not
And
doing
he
it.
knows.
So
Not know. He know who Big L is. You know what I'm saying? So like and thank you for putting this out there to let the world hear his voice again, man. He deserves it.
Yeah, go ahead, Stan.
absolutely. I mean, this has been a bitch of me. This has been something I've bitched about a lot. That the fucking generational gap that we have in hip hop has made it so that these motherfuckers don't know shit about the history, and there needs to be hip hop needs to be taught like in a music class, like we used to learn about everything else. It's history, it's art, it's just not. It's a different form of it, but it's still art, and these kids need to learn it. They need to understand the history of this culture because they are not understanding. I mean, again, I work with young dudes, and this one young dude was, I didn't ask my supervisor asked him like, "Yo, you know who Tupac is?" He's like, I know who Tupac is. I was on listening to his music. I'm just like, why the fuck do you not know a Tupac song? Why do you not know this shit? Y'all niggas call yourselves rap fans, but y'all don't know shit about the history. And it doesn't exist that way in other forms of music. And I'm just like, that's on us, on the OGs, is on other generation to teach these niggas about the history of this culture. This culture means something. It's not a hustle. Hip hop is not just a hustle to me, it's not a hustle to me. This is culture. This is part of my life. It's part
Mm-hmm.
of the fabric of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit needs to be learned, taught, understood, respected. And that's the only way it's going to continue on in the form that we wanted to continue on in. And, L is a big part of that. Big part of the culture, the fabric of hip hop and the foundation that it is now. And I guarantee if
Mm-hmm.
you ask a lot of these dudes out, like you ask the Drakes, you ask the Kendricks, you ask the Coles, whoever you want to name, they know L. They know who he is. They know his influence. You hear the influence and all this shit. Jay will tell you about L. Nard will tell you about him. Cam, Mace, all these niggas that came up in that era that we consider legends today know who L is and know his influence and respect his influence and his skills, his talent, and how he created a lot of this shit these niggas are using now. So it's like we got to continually, and I'm gonna keep banging this. We got to continuously educate younger heads about this culture, or it will not survive. We have to keep educating. These niggas need to respect the culture. They ain't gotta like it. They can have their own thing. They can have their own shit. But respect the
Mhm.
niggas that came before you. Respect the culture, the fabric of it, because it is part of not just who I am. I'm sure it's part of who y'all niggas are, who y'all are. It's part of who you are. It's a fabric, part of your fabric of you, who you are,
It
and
really
that
is.
means something. It's not a hustle. It's not a I'm gonna get in here, make some music, and make some. It's not a hustle, nigga. It's a lifestyle. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of the culture, the fabric of black culture. And this shit needs to be respected. It needs to be taught. It needs to be, understood for the future of it, for it to continue to thrive. Because it's not thriving right now. And the only niggas that's keeping it thriving are the OGs. I just want to, put that out there.
You don't know your history, you don't really know how to properly represent it. You know what I mean? And a lot of these
You're not
people don't.
representing.
They just hop on. They just hop on YouTube and remember, like even now, like right now, like our generation. If somebody walked in the room and said, "I said a hip hop hippie," like we could finish that with them. You know what I mean? If we want to rock it to the bang bang boogies, they up jumps the rhythm to the boogie to the rhythm to the beat. Why? Because we know our history. We understand that is the single most important song in hip hop history. That is the one that birthed everything on the radio across the country. That is the first official hip hop song to like really put us on the map. The most important. Is it the best? Is it the greatest? I don't know. But is it the most important? That's like that's like the national anthem of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like it's the
Yeah.
first one. Like, but if you said that to one of these new school kids, they'll look at you like what you
What
doing?
is you doing? Yeah, it's
What do
like
you
this
you
shit
know
is.
what I'm saying? But our generation, bro, we're finishing with you. Now, what you hear is not a test. The generation before us, I'm rapping to the beat. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't know that whole song, you know enough of it to sing along. You're gonna fill in this part, you're gonna fill in that part. You know what I'm saying? Like we know certain things about our hip hop history. They don't know this. That's why you gotta thank Nas for putting this out there like that. You gotta think like we need Jay to come back with an album. You know what I'm saying? Now would be a great time for Jay-Z to drop an album. You know what I'm saying? And then like put some old school cats on it. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
so
well, I mean, I think that I don't want to really go down that road because this.
Whole different discussion. So yeah, I get it.
But yeah, I think like I remember like lifestyle is important, dangerous. I remember listening to that album, bro, and like you listening to the song Eight is Enough. It's a great posse cut. And it's like, wait a second, is that Cameron? You know what I
yep.
mean? And then you hear
Mm-hmm.
the graveyard, and it's like, oh crap, is that Jay-Z? Because it wasn't even listed on the album. He's listening to the posse cut. It's like, wait, that sounds like Cameron, you know? So yeah, you could tell that he came up with these guys. So there's no reason to believe Big L wasn't next up. He was absolutely next up. Like I don't think there's any doubt about it. Um, so talking about this album that just came out, um, I was cool with it. I thought it was fine. The thing that I really like about it is just the fact that it put Big L back in my face. Because honestly, after I listened to it, I hadn't listened to like Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous in like years. It had been a long time since I came back to that album. So right after I finished listening to this one, I felt like listening to to Big L's early stuff. Um, Overall, the album was fine. I think they did a good job picking rare Big L verses because like I'm gonna be honest, some of the verses I'd actually never heard before. The song with Nas, I never heard that Big L verse before. That was a rare, I think it was a rare freestyle that they took that verse from. So I'd actually never heard that. So like here's the thing. I love the song with Nas was fire. I thought that was a dope song. I can't lie to you though, man. Like there's something about it that because like music now in terms of like the way it sounds, the way the vocals are done now, the way the editing is done now, music today has a different sound in terms of like how it's mixed and mastered. And so when I heard the song with Nas, there was something about hearing Big L's vocals sound like today that I hate to say creepy, but it felt a little creepy because I'm used to hearing Big L's vocals sound grunt, dark,
Yeah,
and
dirty, grimy.
dirty. I'm used
Yeah,
to his vocals
yeah.
sounding like
Like
that.
they
So
did it
hearing
in the
Big L,
basement.
yeah. So hearing Big L's vocals sound clean like that, it was a little creepy. I can't lie. I was a little creeped out. Just kind of how it sounded came like, oh my god, that sounds like Big L's here today. It's like, but it's dope. It was dope. It was a dope song. It's just a little small thing. I also thought that them mastering the freestyle with Jay-Z, like it was cool, but same thing. Like that freestyle is from like 95. Like now you're like mastering and making it sound like now it's like, nah, this is
Like they
supposed
was
to
just on
sound.
the Breakfast Club together or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think it was different with like the after death stuff with Tupac, because you know Pac passed in 96, right? And they had, you know, albums that came out 2 years later, early 2000s. So it wasn't that far away. You feel what I'm saying? But this is like Big L died in 99, and that's 2025. And, and I'm hearing a Big L verse I've never heard before sound clean.
Yep.
It kind of took me back a little bit. I mean, how did y'all feel?
I felt
I
like
don't know.
when I first put the headset on and I heard it, put the headphones on and I heard it. The first thing it did make me do, like, it made me feel sad though, yo. Cause it really was the realization of, damn, what really could have been, bro. You know? Like you say, like hearing it clearer now, it just magnifies that, like it magnifies the, like, that feeling, right? Because it's like, damn, it's almost as if he's here. And like you said, yo, they picked verses that was in the cut for this album. Like verses that you're not gonna like be able to just tell like what song that song. You know, like you listen to a lot of these compilations and they take the verses and you can tell, oh, I know what's on that song. Oh, they took a popular verse from that. No, they took like the most potent shit. Like a true fan of, I feel like I could do this for Nas because I know his
Yeah.
whole career. So
Mm-hmm.
I know the underrated verses. I know the shit that niggas don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like whoever produced this was a true fan of Big L, and they just took his most like underrated verses that's not talked about and that's not really known, and they put it together, and then they, like you said, they made it sound like they just did this in a state of the art studio, bro. That I wasn't really creeped out by it. It made me feel like, damn, like it almost made me feel like he was here. You know what I mean? But then it made me realize like how much time we lost between then and now and what could have happened in that time. Like y'all, can y'all imagine a Big L and Benny Siegel feature on a Just Blaze track in the early 2000s? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So
It's crazy. Look, I'm not really creeped out by it, only because look, AI has bastardized a lot of shit in the last 2 years. So me seeing a fucking AI video of fucking Tupac on Sesame Street doesn't exactly, at that point the creepy factor has already been established. AI's done that, and I fucking hate it. Like I could go on a rant about AI for the next 20 minutes too, about how these niggas are fucking. I hate it. I hate what they're doing, and every nigga doing it should be sued. If you out there putting AI videos of Tupac on fucking Sesame Street, you need to be sued.
yes.
I don't want to. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see fucking Mister Rogers in a wrestling ring. I don't want to fucking see it. Like that needs to be stopped. But the creepy factor wasn't there for me. But again, at the same time, it's like it just is what it was just really good to hear this nigga on the record again. And it was really good to hear him on a record with Nas. Really good to hear him on a record with McGruff again. It was just good to hear it. Now again, my album, my opinion on the album was just it was okay. I mean, again, it was just a bunch of '90s verses put to, you know, the production on the album is actually very fitting to him. So that's actually I was very impressed by that because again, the tendency is of taking older rappers or and putting them on these new school tracks that don't fucking fit. That didn't happen with this. Everything fit. It made sense. It was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I was just glad to hear him on record again. It was good to hear him and hear some shit that I haven't heard in years. And shit that I haven't really heard ever. And that verse on the Nas album, that the Nas joint, I never heard that shit before, and it sounded good.
Yep.
Beat was dope. His voice, it made sense for him to rap over it. Nas comes behind and does his thing. Nas is still the most timeless rapper in the out period. The nigga will sound good 25 years from now if he's still rapping. He could be in the 70s still rapping. It probably still sound good.
Yep.
And it felt good to hear him on the records again. To hear L on voice on records. So again, Nas deserves a fucking Nobel Peace Prize for what he's done this year, for what he's been putting out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He deserves a lot of credit for this shit and how he's brought the Mobb Deeps and Raekwon and Slick Rick and all these dudes
Master
putting
P.
out records and massive. It's been phenomenal, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. A lot of love should go to Nas for what he's done for hip hop. Not just this year, but of course in general. But definitely for this year, what he's done for hip hop has been phenomenal. But
Yeah,
I
like
just
you
enjoy hearing Big L on the record again.
yeah, like you said, I like the fact they actually like stayed true to what Big L would have rapped over, and like you said, hearing Herb McGruff, I was like, oh crap, McGruff again. Herb McGruff with some murder stuff. When I speak, every verb is rough. Remember that, Dre? So it was good to
Man,
see
bro, you
him
got good memory, bro. God damn.
It's funny, man. A lot of them guys, man, that Big L rap with, man, it's like these random guys that like I don't even know what happened. But them dudes was nice. If you listen to like Eight Is Enough and The Graveyard, all them dudes was nice. All of them was cooking, man. Like, I wonder what happened to some of them guys. I mean, I think,
I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't know that I needed Big L and Method Man.
yeah, that was dope.
I didn't know I needed that, bro. I didn't know I needed that, bro. They actually mesh very well, bro. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to say that because he's no longer here, but hearing those two together actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't even know I needed to hear that until I heard it. Like, damn,
Method Man's another one. Method Man's another one's a timeless rapper, timeless flow.
Timeless.
He's still rapping, still have a flawless flow when he's 70. He's another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That whole era, bro. That's just that whole, and to know, like, the thing is, it forced people to do something different because if you were swagger jacking back then, they was gonna throw you away. Like right now, niggas is wearing off-brand Jordans. Like they'll wear the off-brand Jordans. You done copy them, I'll wear them. Back then, listen, if Jay-Z is giving us Jay-Z, we're gonna listen to Jay-Z. We don't want to put Stan album on and hear Jay-Z. We don't want to put Reggie album on and hear Nas, and we definitely don't want to put Kirk album on and hear Tupac. We want to hear Kirk. We want to hear Reggie. You had to do something different. And so it forced guys to be different when they came out. You know what I mean? And the way Big L came out different, nobody else was doing that, man. That I know of. It might be an old school dude that'll tell you, that was a little bit more mature and knowledgeable at that time. But I can't think of a rapper who was using those cadences. You know what I mean? The way he was. I can't.
Yeah, I think when you hear like you said, his cadences, his rhyme schemes, like you can definitely hear that very much in Eminem.
For sure. Oh my God, for sure.
Without
For
question.
sure.
Like if like that rhyme scheme of like the rhyme, you rhyme the word before and the rhyme after it, and then having multiple of those within the same line. You know what I mean? Like that's what Eminem does, man. So you think back at that Big L and Jay-Z freestyle. That part when he said, "I'm known for yoking Jackson, beating them with smoking gats, leaving token blacks with broken backs and open caps." Like that's, what I mean, that's
all Eminem.
That's him,
Like, and then when Eminem say, when he said, what's that one song? He said, "I got beautiful wife, kids, and a gorgeous home. What would make me jump in this tub with this cordless phone?" What he say? You hearing the last words of a man about to blow his brains out. Fall back on the bloodstained blouse right there on the bloodstained couch on top of his bloodstained spouse that he just killed in the same house. That's
Yeah,
Big L. That
yeah,
that 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 that
yeah,
that that
yeah,
that that. That's Big L, bro.
yeah.
Like that's Big L. Now, of course, Big L not talking about killing a murder suicide with his wife, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but of course the subject matter is different. But that cadence of
Mm-hmm.
that, like that's Big L all day. That's him. Like, give him his just due.
Yeah.
Like, but then the thing about Big L though, he would just use that cadence for 6 bars and not come back to it
And
the
then
whole
yeah,
song.
yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Like, that's crazy.
yeah,
That would just be a what you would use that whole flow that you would use for your 16. Big L would use that for maybe 6 bars. Then he gonna use another flow. Then
yep.
he gonna cut that off at 4 bars. But now he just gonna mellow out for the rest of the verse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So in terms of like, where he ranks, it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, I would say for me personally, if I'm just talking about the most influential on me, he's absolutely a top 5 guy, probably. Honestly, just in terms of influence specifically on me, in terms of like when I started to try to learn how to rap, Big L is absolutely in that top 5 all time, like artists, like musically. It's hard because he just didn't get a chance. He didn't get an opportunity. You know what I mean? He didn't get a chance to really grow into what he could have been. So I mean, yeah, I think having him in that next tier of guys is probably about right. But like even with like Big Pun, we lost Big Pun early, but he did still get an opportunity to drop his magnum opus of Capital Punishment. You feel what I'm saying? He still got that chance to drop his masterpiece.
Yep.
Whereas Big L didn't get that chance. But Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous is dope. But it's that kind of dope that a masterpiece might be on the way. You feel what I'm saying? He never got the
Yeah.
chance to get to that point. So it's hard to really rank him, but without question, like still like one of the greatest. If you're talking about just pure rapping, just I'm gonna
Yes.
get on the microphone and I'm gonna make you say ooh and ah. Big L is in that same category with Eminem, Big Pun, Cannabis. Who else we putting in that? Black Thought. If I'm
Black
just
Thought.
make,
I'm about to
if
say
I'm
Black
making you
Thought.
say
Gotta put Black Thought in there.
absolutely, if I'm just
Most deaf.
rapping, yep, and I'm just gonna make you say ooh and ah, Big L is in that conversation with one of the all-time greats at that specific trait, without question, no doubt about it. And I'm gonna leave y'all with the last word. I'm gonna start with Kurt.
When I think about Big L. He's like I'm happy you said leave with the oohs and ahs. He's like a rap Skip to my Lou. You know what I'm saying? Like, is Skip to my Lou a better basketball player than John Stockton? Is he? No, he's not a better basketball player than a lot of these like point guards in the league. But put him in his element on the streets, and you're gonna get a lot of oohs and ahs, bro. Like, you're gonna get a lot of highlights. You're gonna get it like, you know what? You might like Russell Westbrook might run up and down Rucker Pop and dunk the ball, but when Skip get to doing all of that stuff he do, and that's Big L, like you say, like he's gonna make you press the rewind button. He's gonna make you say, if you're a rapper, I feel like if you want to be a dope ass rapper, it's about 15 rappers that you have to listen to. You have to listen to these rappers. Big L is one of them. Where do I rank him? Like I say, he's right under, like right before you get the second tier, the A tier rappers, the S tier rappers, right in between the A tier and the S tiers, and that little gap is Big L is one of those guys right there. Um, but as far as lyrical content and the ability to just spit, I would not be mad if you have him in your top 5 of just spitters. Now, if you want to talk about the full circumference of what it takes to be a rapper and an artist, that's another discussion. But we're talking about just the ability to get the mic and just right there give me something amazing that'll make me go crazy. Big L is in your top 5 or 10. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like I say, thank the Nas and Master Appeal for putting this together and just reminding us how potent this is, bro. You know, it's like a Chick-fil-A milkshake. You ain't had it in a minute, but then you get it. And when you ain't had it in a minute, you get it. It's like it reminds you, like, damn, it's a great milkshake. That's what this is like. It's a great reminder of who he was. Yeah, yo. I'm just
All right,
happy to have that.
all right, Stan. I'm gonna give you the last word.
Yeah, it's just important, like I said, to continuously uplift and uphold our traditions and our culture and this culture and the people who influenced it the most. And again, Nas, shout out to Nas for just, again, continuously pushing the culture forward, where so many others
Mhm.
are just milking it, draining it dry. Nas is pushing it forward, trying to keep it going. And these dudes need to be, respected. You know, the Mobb Deep album, tremendous. The Raekwon album, tremendous. You know, and this L album, very important to have. When I think, again, at the end of the day, when I think about the dudes that make me laugh when I hear them, when they drop a punchline and I chuckle, it's L, it's Eminem, it's Pun, it's Thought, it's AZ. It's these guys who just get on the mic and they just spit and you just and they say things that just make you chuckle to make you say, "Oh shit, I gotta rewind that motherfucker."
Mhm.
Those are the dudes. Man, it's not about. It's not. We're not talking about making songs and making catchy records and shit like that. It's just the art of simply grabbing a microphone, you play a beat. I'm gonna spit some. I'm gonna rap, and you gonna laugh at the shit that I said. You know, I still remember the time. I still remember where I was when I heard this nigga say "Mad hoes ass beavers, I get nothing but head," and I remember just like, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" That shit. And I'm just again that reaction. You don't get a whole lot from rappers today. Just don't. You don't get those kind of reactions. And yeah, he is so important to the culture and needs to be upheld and uplifted the same way we do with Biggie and Tupac and Nas and Jay and a lot of these dudes. He needs to be in that grouping for his skills, his talents, and his influence on the rappers that came after him. So gotta salute the brother.
Absolutely. We'll leave it there. Rest in peace, Big L, man. Rest in
Rest
peace.
in peace.
We'll leave
Yo,
it
you
there.
actually need a Shaq hand to do it correctly. Rest in peace.
All right, we'll leave it there. Appreciate y'all. Till next time.
All right, y'all.